Welcome back to the Code Maven channel and to the series of the Kantoniko, about the Kantoniko website. This is the 6th episode, and this time we are going to talk about how we store the data of the Kantoniko website in various places. And then that will lead us to the way that one person could contribute to help to improve the website, to improve the content of the website. So you don't have to be a programmer, nothing to do this, but the data is stored in something that's mostly used by programmers. It's a website called GitHub. And inside this website, so github.com/Kantoniko is the organization, is the area where I have stored all the projects or partial data of the website. So the website is built from various pieces of data, and we're going to see some of them. If you can click on the link of repositories, these are the individual areas of storage of various projects. The reason I divided them, there are a couple of reasons why I divided the whole site. Partially is because they started out different times, partially because they have different licenses, they are different sources. Some of the data is not really changing anymore because they were collected once and then they are stored. Some of the data is a lot bigger, like the sound files, the audio files are bigger, so I didn't want to store them together with plain text because then both of them will be just big, the whole together. And mostly the MP3 files, so the audio files, they're not changing. We are just adding them more and more. So there are a couple of reasons. So here, let's start. Maybe the simplest one that we have today is the one that's actually the Spanish page. So you might remember that there was the page was here. That there was this page that Muli Hassan, the collection of text and audio by Muli Hassan, which is actually in modern Spanish, so it's not in Ladino, but this is the easiest. So this is this project, which is called a repository in Git. And if I click on this one, these are the folders, these are the files and the folders of this project. So for example, in this case, each entry has some text and an audio file. So in this repository, we have a folder called text, where we have the text files, and the folder called sound. So let's click on the sound first. Here, each episode has its own MP3 file, and the number of the episode is basically the name of the file. So that's what we store here. If we go back in the text, for here in each episode, each entry on the website has a file with the MD extension. It's markdown. It's called markdown. Basically, more or less, I'm actually storing right now plain text, but for some reason I thought it might be good to have them in markdown format. I don't know if I'll keep this way, because now so far all the text is simple text. There's no any special meaning. There's only one thing that's special. So here you can see that one thing is the title right now. So here you can see a slightly visualized form of that file. If you click on the row button here, then you can see exactly as the file looks like. So it's just a plain simple text file, nothing special in there. Here it has 3 of these dashes, the minus signs. And here is the title, basically. So titulo, I used the Spanish word. And here is the title of the message and the text itself. And that's it. So basically, Muli is sending me Word documents, and I copy them here. And I download the audio file that she sends and put them in the other folder. So that's basically how it's stored. If I go back to the main folder, there is some more stuff here So there is actually the front JPEG is the image that you can see on the front, and then there are templates. Basically, there are two main templates: the index file and the page file. The index template is how we generate the content of this front page, and then for each individual page we have a template, a layout, basically, where we're going to fill in this data. So this text actually comes from the index HTML, the template. Here is the text, and but then the list of entries is automatically generated already from the files. So if we want to add just one more file, not one more file, one more episode, then what we need is to create the text file and the sound file with the same file name and different extensions, and that's it. And then we add this to this repository, and automatically, when we created this, automatically it will be uploaded and updated to the website. Okay, how it's done, I will explain it later. Obviously, if some people already know how to use GitHub, they can go forward and start using it. But in my mind, I'm creating these videos for people who don't know what this GitHub is and don't know how to use it. So for now, I'm just showing how the information is stored, and later I'll show how to make changes to this and how to add something. Okay, so this was this Haberes Buenos de Bully, which is, I think, probably the most simple one. Then there is another one that's so here is, for example, the una frase al dia. So this is let me go back here, this list. This repository is not very interesting because it's unlikely that things will change there, because these were created by Karen Sarhan and she stopped doing it, so there are no new ones arriving. At least I don't know about new ones. Maybe if there are some typos, they need to be fixed, but beyond that, I don't know if there's anything to do with this repository. This is where we store the sound, the audio of all the all the examples. So I think if we go there, this is actually in the docs directory, and then it's divided by the people who created each audio. So Rachel Amado, she created, and the name of the file is quite, well, it's not arbitrary totally. It's the beginning of the text usually, but the only thing that it needs to be is a unique name. And then this is the extension of file. This is slightly different format. The one in the previous repository of Bully, there were MP3 files, and these are OGG files, different audio format. Anyway, so these are stored here, and then there is a mapping, I think, here for each person. There's some information about each person, the name of the person who is doing the audio, and some title that can be displayed on the website, and that's it. And then in the other place where we actually have the text of the examples, there we have the mapping of each example to the file name that has the audio in it. So that's the whole story here. And then there's some other things. So here too, in the other one as well, there was, and just didn't point it out, there is some program here in the Python programming language that helps generating the website from this data. But that's, well, it's interesting for programmers, not that interesting for people who just would like to contribute some content. So this is another repository. Let's go another one, the WhatsApp messages of Albert Israel. Here it's slightly different than the one of Bully, because here we have for each page, for each message, we have text separately, we have an image and the sound. So we have the text in these files, and for historical reasons or whatever, I use the different file format. Actually, the reason I use different file format, and let's get to a new one, so you can see the dates here. Probably I could have sorted it by just clicking on something. So this is a relatively new one where we have both Ladino and Hebrew text. So here you can see that the file format is slightly different, and it better serves this this need. Each message has a title, has a date when it was published on the in the Ladino community. There is the link to the page, to the archive of that message on the Ladino community. There's another date where it's supposed to be published, or that's not that important. And then there is the text, the Ladino text, and then the Hebrew, Ladino Hebrew. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Each one of these WhatsApp messages have this file, and then for the same, with the same file name, so the exact same file name, we also have in the image folder an image. Okay, so that's the mapping is done by the fact that we have the same exact file name. And finally, there was the image, and then finally, or I showed you the sound. So this is the sound with the OGG. Yeah, okay. So I showed the text, and this is the sound with OGG extension. Again, just like one of the other ones was this way. So this is how we store the WhatsApp messages, and there too there might be typos. We keep adding the Hebrew ones. There are the Hebrew part of the messages, and every couple of days Albert sends a new message, and then with a couple of days delay I add them to this website, to this repository, and then it automatically gets out. The Ladino dictionary code is just the code, the program that generates the website from all these other parts, and so there is most of the code is here, and for each of these projects they have some code in there. What else? So this is the repository for the book of the Salulalu. Una frase, these are the sounds. Okay, so this is where we get to the dictionary, and I think that I'm going to do it in a separate video, because that needs a lot more information. It's more complex, and there we can start looking at how to make the changes. So that's it. I think this is maybe another, the Ladinadores, yes. So this is where the posters of Aldo Sevi are. So here too, in the docs folder, I guess I have these affiches folder, and then just a list of images. So far, as I mentioned, there's no mapping between the image and the content, the text, the words there. So maybe we'll have to create separate files for each of these folders where we have the words, and then using those files, we can actually connect, map the words in the dictionary to the example, to this poster. So that can be an interesting sub-project. Okay, anyway, this is for now. Again, in the next video, I'm going to go over the data where all the dictionaries, where all the words are, where the examples are, and we'll see how that part one can contribute. So thank you for watching. Please like the video, click on the like, follow the channel, and then just to remind you, not this one, the Charlashon, okay, just to remind you, we have the meetings twice a week where we speak Ladino, we have conversations, talk about all kinds of interesting things. Send me an email if you'd like to join. So see you at one of our meetings. Bye-bye.